All right, guys, I'm going to show you something else that's definite value add. And I'll just start by saying this. When we were doing this in the software installer steps, we followed this full process and we installed these websites, right? And as we know, we were uploading, come back to this. I don't even need that anymore. That was just to show you those other videos, so that can go. Okay, we were uploading on the website. So we uploaded that zip file and that SQL file, right? So that means we uploaded a file called legacyuap-v3.sql and the one for .zip. All right, having said that, then we went ahead and did our jobs with those. Well, let's think about this for a minute. Those are kind of big files, weren't they? Yeah, they were kind of big files. So what does that have to do with anything? I'll tell you. So when I uploaded those websites, right, inside each one of those websites, let's go to one of the cPanels, because what would have to be done manually, the industry standard. The point is to delete that stuff. Why? Somebody figured this out. They went to the file manager one time or another when they were running out of room on their server, say, and saying, what can we get rid of? And they just started looking at some of these websites to say, what have we got? Well, there's an error log, but it's not very big. We could delete this error log, you know, delete. Skip the trash, by the way. I don't want it to go in the trash or I won't save the space because it's still here. Ooh, look at how big this is, you know, and this especially. Okay, that one's not very big. It's 1/4 of a meg, but wouldn't it be better just to delete it? And again, skip the trash. And also, this right here, this guy's taking up 90 meg. If that file takes up 90 meg, let's do the math, and we did that 10 times, 10 uploads, that'd be 900 meg, but 100 times, oof, that's 9 gig, 9 gigabytes in that file, right? Delete. Did I get rid of it for the trash? No, I forgot to get rid of it for the trash, right? This is how it goes manually when somebody's got to delete them, because what would you say now? You'd say, man, we should recover the space. Now that we know the website's fine, it uploaded and installed, it resolves, everything's good about it, it looks good and everything, okay? It's there. I don't need that zip file anymore gumming up space. I don't need the SQL file. Most website companies leave that stuff in there as a local backup. It's just everything we have is so efficient, it's unnecessary. That Excel file that we have showing those backups on Excel, right? Those installations, that acts like our backup. We know what we put where and when. And so our backup is just the fact that those main files exist in the first place, right? It's right here. Each row is a backup kept in a single Excel file, okay? And then the backup files are at software installer, but we can install from that repository anytime. So we do not need to keep the local backups. Now, if you were to try to get rid of them all manually, how long does it take? Let's do this again real quick. Close tabs to the right. Okay, I gotta go to the next one. I don't know, what's the time here? Come to the file manager. Go into public HTML. Scroll down, delete that, skip, delete that, skip. And by the way, is it possible I could be on the wrong file because I got tired and I deleted the wrong file and I skipped the trash and I caused a problem? Definitely that's a possibility, isn't it? If you told someone to move fast and they accidentally hit the wrong file and hit delete and they're skipping the trash, they're going to break the website and you're going to have to figure out how to fix it for real. You know, you're going to have to re-upload a missing file or reinstall the template, right? That's more of a problem. But how do we do this stuff? Okay, I'm just going to show you. What do? We did a file deletion process, right, is the idea, okay? So I'm just going to straight import the file that tells us what to delete. Well, I've got one here. Delete the install files. Because I downloaded the sample. By the way, there's a sample for everything. Sample file for everything. You go to file deletion. There's a download the sample. It gives you this file, right? So that you can just fill it in. What's this file saying? Pretty simple. Okay. It's saying go to the website, Stay right there in the root. Don't go any deeper. Don't go into a different folder like, you know, CSS or administrator or, you know, themes. We're not going to go into anything. We're just going to stay right there in the root. That's what that means. And delete that, because this is a file deletion file. It means delete that. And by the way, when you're done with those 96 websites, okay, start over again, go through all those same websites again, and delete that. Okay, just delete that too. So get rid of all those SQL files. Now we're going to watch how much room we recover on our server as we do this, like literally live. Okay, I just want you to see that this means something. So let's go. Before we actually upload this thing, we're going to go to, let me see, I'm going to close the tabs to the right. Okay, we're going to go to disk usage. Okay, I've got available 366 gig. Remember that, 366 with percentage used of 57%. Okay, just remember those numbers. Now, how fast can we recover room? Delete. Oh, whoops. Let me go to the right page, of course. Import the file. Okay. Delete. Tip of my cursor on the button so it drags and drops and then go. Now, while it's doing that, let me come back to the disk usage. Okay. And I just want to refresh it. 371 instead of 66 is 5 gig recovered, 57% used. 374 gig now is available, 56% used. So I'm already up 8 gig. Yeah, it's probably just about to the end, because now it's going through all those SQL files, which by themselves are only a quarter meg each. It's done. All of that is done. Yeah, we got 374 gig instead of 66. We recovered an easy 8 gig altogether. Okay? And then rounding errors. So something close to 9 gig anyway. 56% used. We got a percent back. How's that for awesome? Again, if you were to do that manually, really, if you were to do that manually, what's that like? And again, that's the point. I already showed you, right? So if it takes a minute each, it's an hour and a half. You know why companies often don't do deep level servicing unless you drop healthy cash, like for retainer monies and stuff? Because it's expensive. It is truly time consuming to deal with these things. But if you don't need to do it manually, if you can erase the labor element and make this stuff easy to do, you can compete at a level other companies cannot afford to compete at, even when you get huge. That is what this tool does. All right, let's do more.